So Porbandar is very well known for its cricketing history. My career also started from the Dilip School of Cricket only. So in Saurashtra there was no turf cricket. So when we went in 1979 to Mumbai for the first time, and we have seen the grass wicket there first time. Rajdeep Sardesai, the famous TV anchor, he was the opening batsman, and he got out on the first ball of Vijay Merchant in my bowling, bowled. So West Indian bowler used to bowl 2-3 bounces in a over, no helmets this time. So it was of course very scary. The book name is Making of a Cricketer. So in that he has mentioned it that Sachin has survived one close appeal, and he has mentioned my name also in that book. So I feel very proud sometimes. Saurav Ganguly came. Saurav Ganguly has changed, and he started believing in cricketers from a small places. And Indian cricket should not forget his contribution to the Indian cricket after Kapil Dev.
Hello everyone and welcome to Variety with Vishwam. This is the one of a different kind of podcast where we are going to get amazing guests and we are going to talk something which is not talked across. So we try and keep it in the mind that we want to talk about something which is not talked across in different podcasts. And at the same point of time we are trying to keep as unfiltered as possible and we are trying to keep it as raw as possible. And we have today the guest, a very well known cricketing figure and a very well known figure from the horsing community, and we will welcome him. His name is Rajendra Singh Jadeja and he is known as Rajesh Jadeja in the cricketing circle. So hello sir, કેમ
Hello.
છો મજામાં?
Majama, yes.
આપણે તો
Nice to see you, yes,
yes,
again.
I had actually I had the pleasure of meeting him around 5-6 years back, and it was a wonderful conversation then, and I hope it's even going to be better. That was, of course, we did a small interview then about the biking event, and
Yeah,
now
yeah, I remember that,
yes.
yes.
So also Rajendra Singh Jadeja is also a biker himself. He loves bullet, and we'll talk further about him. So sir, I would start with it. You have been active in cricket, horse riding, and then helping people to conserve and maintain the Kathiawadi horse breed. So, which is more dearer to you, whether horse riding or cricket?
Frankly speaking, cricket is very dear to me, and cricket is the thing from which I have been known. I got my personality, I got my status. Whatever I am today is because of cricket only. Horse, of course, it is in the blood. Since we are Rajputs, we are Kshatriyas, so horse culture is always comes into the blood of for all the
Right,
Rajputs.
right, right.
And cricket is, of course, very dear, and it was a profession earlier. It started with a passion, then became a profession, and now also I am involved myself in the cricket very much.
Okay. So I would ask you that how did you start and how did your interest in cricket started? Was it that cricket was just played in childhood and you started playing well?
No, it was not like that. My father, my late father, was a sportsman himself. He was a good volleyball player and athlete. So he wanted his son to be any
Sportsman.
sportsman. Yeah. So in 1976-77, it all started when I was 9-10 years old. And first I was playing in the streets and all that, and then suddenly he said that you should take some professional training. And I belong to the Porbandar. So Porbandar is very well known for its cricketing history, because the Maharaja of Porbandar, Natwasiji, Maharana of Porbandar, he was the first Indian Test team captain,
Oh,
1932, yes. And he only sponsored the Indian cricket team to go to England and play there the first Test match. And he was the captain. Colonel Sikhe Naidu also was there in the team. Amar Singh and a lot of ex-cricketers, heroes of India, they were the part of the team. And Maharana himself, they went into England, and then he due to the weather, he became a little ill. So Colonel Sikke Naidu lead the team in the first test match. But in history of the records, if you see, the name of Maharana Natwasiji of Porbandar was the first test team captain of India. So when he came back from there in 1932, he has seen a cricket coaching school there in England, the Grover School of Cricket, if you have heard the name.
Mhm.
And he himself wanted to build that type of school, cricket coaching school in Porbandar. So he has allotted a big land in center of the city, and Porbandar in those days was very well known for his architecture of the
Marbles.
marbles and the stones and everything. So even the buildings of the Porbandar in those days was just like Rome and France culture buildings. So he has designed a very good cricket school. The name of the school is the Dulip School of Cricket. It was named after the great cricketer Dulip Singh ji
Ji.
of Jamnagar, and his best friend was Vijay Merchant. So in both name he has built a school there in Porbandar in 1947 from his own money, because that time when the school was built and reopened, that time India was still under the princely state, and Maharaja has built that school with the amount of 20-25 lakhs in those days. So in the name of Dulip Siji, the Dulip School of Cricket, and the Vijay Pavilion in the name of Vijay Merchant, and both have came there. And after that, the first team which went to England after that, Australia and all that, in 1947, the full Indian team was came there to Porbandar for practicing and all. So that school was there for the local boys and for the India teams and other things also. We have a cemented wickets there, and a lot of other amenities also. In those days they built it. But 1947, India became independence. Then Maharaja has handed over that school to the government.
Hmm.
That time it was Maha Gujarat or Saurashtra state or something. So he handed over it to the government. But government couldn't manage it initially,
The
because
government would not be able to manage it because that school would have been out of the interest,
interest,
out of
yes.
love for the cricket. There was a
But then
personal attachment.
after few years, again Maharana himself has financed that school,
Hmm.
and he said to the government, in those days government, state government, that you give us a coach or something, and then we will use it for the local players.
Hmm.
And then state government has put one coach there. So the cricket culture started in Porbandar, and in that time Rajkot, Jamnagar and Porbandar, three are the only places where the cricket culture was very much involved with the locals and all that, and good cricketers has been produced in those days. From Jamnagar, Vinu Mankad and Jam Sahib himself was a good cricketer. Then Indrajit Singh, he was a good cricketer. From Rajkot, there are a lot of cricketers also produced in those days. And Porbandar also, we had good cricketers who played for Saurashtra.
Hmm.
That time Kathiawar team was there, Ranji Trophy playing. So they all played. So that's how my career also started from the Dilip School of Cricket only. I was been put there for coaching in 76 there, and I started my coaching under our late coach Mr. Ram Odedra, who recently passed away at the age of 75, and he has seen some potential in me those days, and he started giving me training
Okay.
initially.
Right. So, who was the first person to recommend you, or was it a trend that cricket could be the first sport for anyone in
Yeah,
Porbandar?
recommendation was done by my father himself only, because he was a regular in those days to the Dilip Cricket School, and there we have a sports club there, Natwachiji Sports Club. They are just opposite only. So when he used to go to the club, he used to take me and say, okay, you go for the practice there. And my coach, Mr. Ram Odedra, later Mr. Ram Odedra, he has seen the talent in me, and he has said that, okay, my physique was that time better than the other youngsters. So he immediately told me that okay, you start with the left arm because I was a left arm bowler that time.
Hmm.
And I started as a left arm bowler and a right hand batsman, which was a very unique combination, left arm bowler and right hand batsman. And Saurashtra is known for the left arm bowlers.
Hmm.
If you see the history of Saurashtra cricket, that lot of left arm bowlers who has played for India and who has played Ranji Trophy all over Indian domestic cricket also, the maximum are the left arm bowler came from the Saurashtra only.
Okay.
From Ravindra Jadeja to Vinu Mankar to Salim Durrani, everybody are, most of them are left arm bowlers. So I started in 76 there. Then in those days we have a good school cricket because a lot of tournaments for the under 14, under 15, 19s in the school tournaments also was there in Kathiawar those days. So I started playing in there, performed it, and in 1979 I got selected for Saurashtra team for under 15. That is called Vijay Merchant Trophy, which is still under 16 tournament is BCCI is
Hmm.
organizing
Hmm.
for that.
Hmm.
So that was the first year for the that Vijay Merchant Trophy, and we got selected, and Saurashtra team went to Mumbai for the first time to play, and that was my first visit to the Mumbai also in train.
Hmm.
So that's how my career started in 1979.
So you were the first person to participate in that trophy under
Yeah,
16.
for Saurashtra team, first we were there
Okay.
under 16 team.
So sir, so this is how you started.
Yeah.
Were the facility at par to the current facilities available?
Oh no no no! Those days the cricket first thing was the cricket was of all was matting cricket. Instead of the grass cricket which you see now,
Hmm.
turf wicket cricket, we hardly had the turf cricket in Saurashtra. So in Saurashtra there was no turf cricket. So when we went in 1979 to Mumbai for the first time, and we have seen the grass wicket there first time, and our match was on this in the Marine Drive, this Islam Gymkhana,
Okay.
and first match Saurashtra versus Mumbai, and Mumbai were the dominating team in those days in all class of cricket. Ranji Trophy they were champions, even under 19s, whatever the tournament they used to play, they were the champions because they had a grass cricket that time, grass wickets. So we were surprised to see that how on the grass we can play. But then we practiced it for 2 days on the grass wicket, and then we played against Mumbai, and surprisingly we beat Mumbai on the first match only because
Hmm.
our bowlers were totally inexperienced bowlers, and so one name I should give you this that Rajdeep Sardesai, the famous TV anchor, he was the opening batsman, and he got out on the first ball of Vijay Merchant in my bowling, bowled. So even Rajdeep also remembers the same thing today. That whenever he meets me, he said that you have made me out on the first ball of that.
It's a very
So
surprising thing that Rajdeep Sardesai, which our generation only knows as a reporter,
yeah.
was
No, he
started.
was a good cricketer. Actually, he played for Mumbai also in under 22, under 19s and all. And then he played for the Oxford also, Oxford or Cambridge, where he studied in England. There also he is represented in the county also. So, but he couldn't got success like his father. But he was like Dilip Sardesai, his father. But he was a good cricketer also these days.
What did Dilip Sardesai used to do? Bowling,
No, he was a
batsman.
batsman.
He's a
Dilip Sardesai
batsman.
was a very well-known batsman. You can say equivalent to the Sunil Gavaskar in those days.
Okay.
And
So our generation would have
yeah, yeah.
missed out
Oh,
completely.
yeah, yeah.
And so now, during your youth, you were playing for Saurashtra. So was there any team for Gujarat also separate?
Yeah, yeah. Because see, in those days, West Zone have three teams: Gujarat, Saurashtra, and Baroda. Because Baroda has on his own culture. Because Gaikwad used to sponsor the cricket in the princely state time, Ahmedabad and this area, the central part of Gujarat was known as Gujarat Cricket Association. And Gujarat is a very good team those days. Mr. Pankaj Javeri, Ashok Joshi, lot of good names in those days. And then Saurashtra, it was known as Kathiawar, but then later it became Saurashtra. So Saurashtra Cricket Association also was a member of that time. And from the West Zone there are 5 teams: Saurashtra, Gujarat, Baroda, Maharashtra, and Mumbai. These are the 5 teams used to play in the West Zone league.
Right. Now everything is known as Gujarat, but for the viewers, can you really, because it's very confusing. What is Kathiawad? What is Saurashtra?
See, Kathiawar is, you can say, starts from the Kutch and Kathiawar. The whole coastal area from Kutch to Bhavnagar, it is and comes under Kathiawar. And up to Limbdi, where the border of Saurashtra finishes, and Viramgam, and the border of Viramgam and Limbdi, is Saurashtra finishes there. And from Viramgam to Ahmedabad and Vadodara, it goes up to in the Gujarat, you can say, the central Gujarat. And Vadodara Gayakwad has got own princely states, and their districts are, and some of the part was under the Gayakwad in Saurashtra also, the Dwarika and Amreli. These two were the districts which were under the Gayakwad ruling
Okay.
and management also. But then our Jamnagar, when my family separated from Jamnagar princely family, so we were been shifted. We have given the 12 villages, and we adopted the Gayakwad administration. So the Gayakwad administration was in near in some part of the Jamnagar also in those days. But Gayakwad used to employ the cricketers in olden times. Chandu Bode and Sarvate and lot of Vijay Hazare, they were all the employee of the Gayakwad family. And the royal, they were either in the army or in the school or in some offices and all.
Right.
And Saurashtra, all the princely state, and mainly the Porbandar and Limbdi, they were the main sponsor for the cricket in Saurashtra. Then Jamnagar, when Jam Ranji became the ruler of Jamnagar, Nawanagar, he built an Ajit Pavilion and grounds and all. Then in little bit of cricket started in Vadwan. And one surprising thing you should know now is that today's BCCI was sponsored and formed by the His Highness Jam Sahib of Jamnagar, Digvijay Singh. He gave the first 35,000 rupees donation, and Vadhavan State's princely king, he also gave 25,000 rupees donation in early time, in early 40s time, and the BCCI was formed. But in that time, the Jam Sahib himself was the president of BCCI, first president of the BCCI. But later on, he handed over it to the people who are actually involved with the cricket. And that's how this big Cricket Control Board, Board of Control for Cricket in India, was formed and it was established.
So was the headquarter in Mumbai, or where was the headquarter?
It was registered in Chennai, but the headquarter always was in Mumbai only. Even today, the headquarter is in Mumbai only. And Mumbai was dominating that time in the cricket field because they had a very good players, and Poli Umrigar, Vijay Merchant, a lot of good players were there. So it was always dominated by the Mumbai players only. That's why the headquarter was always in Mumbai.
Right. So where do you see what were the what were the mediums of cricket, viewing cricket or listening to cricket when you were a kid?
Radio commentary only because there was no television that time. So
Right.
mostly we were listening the radio commentary, Sushil Doshi and Sarvate and all that. So that time it was, see, the earlier means late 70s and early 80s. The cricket was a passion for everyone, every school children, every college student. Cricket was just a passion only that time. There was no money at all, like what we see today. That kind of money was not been there in that cricket that time. So it was for passion and it was for pride. If to represent a team, school team also, being a school team captain also, we used to walk with a head high, like that okay, I'm the school team captain of cricket team. And when you go to the college to represent an university team, was a big pride. Like today's pride was that like you represent India in India A or something. That was the university team's
Right.
representation was there. So the medium of knowing cricket was either go on the ground and play or listen on the radio only. Then
Right.
the television started, and then first time we saw the World Cup at that time only.
When did you watch the cricket in TV?
First TV I remember when I went to England with under 19 team. I got selected in India under 19 team in 1982, and we went to West Indies. Our team went to West Indies, and our captain was Maninder Singh, the left-arm spinner who played for India. Chetan Sharma was there with us. Lakshman Sivaramakrishnan, the right-arm leg spinner, who is a commentator now. Chetan is also commentator now. He was also team. Syed Sabah Karim, who was played for Bihar, he was one of the part. This Cheteswar Pujara's uncle was also with us in the team. From Gujarat, we were three boys. So that time when we first went to the West Indies, we saw the cricket on television there, on BBC and all. Then while coming back from West Indies tour, 2 months tour was there, and we played 6 one days there and 3 test matches. We won all the that time because, and from West Indies side, Jan Bishop was there. He was playing against us. Carl Hooper was playing that time. And Gus Logie was one of the player. So, but they were not good enough to play our spinners. They used to play our fast bowlers. We were fast bowlers. They played us, but Maninder Singh and Sivaram Krishnan were very good spinners in those days. So they were not trained to play such a good spinner. So we won the all the
So
matches there.
because of the spin,
Spin, yeah, we won the.
you won the
Yeah, yeah.
matches.
In earlier cricket also, if you see the India West Indies matches, Bishan Singh Bedi, Chandrasekhar, Venkat Raghavan, Erapalli Prasanna, they only had won the matches for India because our strength was spinning or spinner track only. So all the matches against West Indies, against Australia or England, whatever we have won in those days, was won by the spinners only. Hardly we have any fast bowlers then. But now the time changed, so
Right. So how were we playing the pace of West Indies at that point of time
that
in
point
your
of
team?
time, yeah, we were afraid actually with those kind of pace like 130, 140 kilometers. But since we practiced on the matting wicket, so we were very good back foot players. India in those days had a very good back foot player because on a matting wicket when you play, it's a coir matting wicket. The bounce is very good always, and most of the player were very good square cutting and the pull shot. These kind of shots were very famous in those earlier part of cricket in India. Even today, if you go to the south, also in so many districts in south, also still they are playing on a matting wicket only. Now the AstroTurf has taken their places, but still matting wicket is cricket is there, and I personally feel that if in the youth, if you still introduce the matting wicket cricket, you will produce a better cricketer, better back foot players, and who can play good fast bowling even today also.
Right. Maybe my knowledge about cricket is going to be a little limited because you have extensively played and cricket is in your blood. So, yeah, you the kind of knowledge which you're sharing is amazing. Now, were West Indies even then used to do bodyline bowling?
Yeah, they could. The fast bowlers' weapon in those days were the bouncers only. There was hardly any swing bowling which we see now today. Was very very limited this time. They had a pace and the bounce. So the limitation of the bouncers in those days were no limits when West Indies were playing with any other teams or Australians were playing. So West Indian bowlers used to bowl 2-3 bounces in a over, and that was body line only, and no helmets this time. So it was of course very scary for the
So without
initial.
helmet, it is
Oh
very
yeah, very
scary.
scary. And just imagine in 1970 when Sunil Gavaskar has toured first to England and to West Indies, and he scored 700 plus runs. Recently, one of the greatest opening batsmen of India has passed away, Mr. Anshuman Gaikwad from Baroda. He played a brilliant knock in West Indies against those fiery pace. And if you see in one of his book, the photograph of his Anshuman, the full body this side was like with bruises like all the way, because he has scored 80 odd runs, but he has taken a lot of blow on the body at that time.
Right. So till when did you continue playing cricket?
Yeah, see, in 1982 when I got selected for India under 19s, and then 10 years continuously I went to England to play the county and club cricket there. And Ranji Trophy I started in 1984-85 season under the captainship of Mr. Kashan Gowri. And till 1992 I played for the Saurashtra.
Hmm.
Last Ranji Trophy match was in 1989-90 when Sachin started his cricket career, that time only. And in my last match and Sachin's second match,
Hmm.
we played in Rajkot. In that match, in the first two balls, I got the 2 wickets of Mumbai cricket, and Sachin entered in the to play the hat-trick ball. And then in one of after that, in one of the over, he was flicking the ball, and he brushed it with his gloves. Clear caught behind, but umpire said no, 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 not out. And in those days, we don't have this
Third empire.
DRS or third umpire or anything. But no regrets. And Sachin's brother Ajit Tendulkar has written a one book, first book on Sachin Tendulkar that time, from his diaries. He was traveling with Sachin that time, and he has mentioned in that book. The book name is Making of a Cricketer. So in that he has mentioned it that Sachin has survived one close appeal, and he has mentioned my name also in in that book. So I feel very proud sometimes that at least if I have not played for India, but
You have
yes, yeah, my
you've
name is
taken the wicket.
yeah,
You've taken the
yeah,
wicket of Sachin Tendulkar, who
but not
is,
given.
yes, not given, not on records.
Not on records.
Yeah. So now, so you continued playing till nine towards just before 90s.
90s, yes.
So you were there in cricket since 70s
Yeah,
to
90s,
90s.
yes.
So you have seen 2 decades
Yeah, two
in
decades.
cricket, and thereafter you have seen three cri-
3 decades for the
three
in
decades of cricket. So when did you became the match referee?
after I finished my first class cricket, uh, it was a bit my removal from the team from Saurashtra was a bit controversial that time. Our local politics and all that. So in the anger, I went to Muscat immediately in 1992, and I played 3 years there in Muscat in Oman. That time the Oman cricket was just entering into the international cricket also, and there went into the one company called Khimji Ramdas and Company. Now Mr. Pankaj Khimji, who is the chairman of Oman Cricket and Asian Cricket Council also, he was the initiative for us, and he has started the cricket team there in Muscat Cricket Club, and we played a very competitive cricket there in Oman. Most of the India Pakistani players, mixture of players there, and played 3 years there, and then I came back in 1994 here again, and then I was in my business. I started my shipping business, and I played one district game, last district game this time, and then I was called by the Saurashtra cricket as a selector of the under 16 teams, and then under 16 to under 19 and under 23 and all. So for continuously another 18, 19 years, I was the selector for Saurashtra all the time. And then I, I was been told by one of my late coach, Mr. Ramoda, that I should do in coaching also. So he initiated me that okay, I should share my experience of cricket with the young boys also. Then that time the formation of National Cricket Academy by the BCCI was there in 2000 year, and first level 1 coaching seminar was organized in Mumbai by NCA, National Cricket Academy, and it was taken by Mr. Balwinder Sandhu, the ex India player and Mumbai player, and I attended that. I passed that test also, level 1. Then within another 2 years I passed the level 2 also exam, and I was in coaching for some time. But then I didn't enjoy that much. I was not able to deliver what I should deliver, because due to maybe my nature, or I was expecting much from the youngsters and all that. So I thought that the coaching is not my cup of tea. So I shifted into the administration, and I was elected as a president of our Porbandar District Cricket Association. And then, since then, I was always a part of the administration in Porbandar District Cricket Association till today. And later on, when this match referee position started by BCCI, so earlier days it was a match observer position, and BCCI used to write letter to ex players that you should be the, if you want to be the match observer, you can tell your interest to us. And I started as a match observer first in 1997 98, but then my business was also doing well, the shipping that time, so I stopped going to the match observer. And then again I shown interest to the BCCI in 2014-15, that I want to be a match referee, because that time the match referee position was very important, respectable, important, and so much of responsibility was given. So we gave the exams in National Cricket Academy in Bangalore. I got selected also in that, and then again due to some reasons, personal reasons, I couldn't continue it for 2 years. So I left that part of my job there as a match referee. But then when Anil Kumble became the director for National Cricket Academy, he again recalled all the players who have earlier passed and worked as a match referee. So in 2017, I went to the BCCI again in the National Cricket Academy. I gave the exam, passed it, and here I am like again. This is the last year now, so in March 2025 I will be retiring from the match referee also.
So which kind of matches you have done, worked as a match referee till now?
All domestic matches, most of the Ranji Trophy to under 15 women's, under 15 boys, under 19, under 23, all kind of matches. And BCCI, they have a policy that those players who are under the age of 50 years will be recommended for the IPL matches and ICC tournaments and all. So unfortunately, I was over 50 years of the age that time, so our names could not be officially gone to the recommendation for the IPL and all. But if you see, our seniority was good enough there. But since BCCI has got his own policy, so we couldn't go for the
You
IPL.
couldn't go.
Yeah.
So you've worked for ODIs? No.
No. Only the domestics. All domestics we have done. Yes.
Only all domestic. What kind of facilities are available for domestic cricket in terms of match referees concerned?
See, if you compare it with the olden time, and today's time, the changes has gone extremely very high now.
Hmm.
Because in olden times, the traveling was by the second class, third class of train and buses only, and no money in all at that time. And uniforms also were not, teams uniform were not there. Everybody, they were wearing the white colors and all that, but different companies and all. There was no color cloth in cricket that time. Earlier, the one days used to be played in the white uniform and with a red ball only. Now the one day and T20 format was not there. T20 format started very recently.
Right.
So in that way, cricket has taken a different total era is started. New era is started, and the amount of money involvement is there with the BCCI and in the tournaments also is
Is
extremely high. Yeah.
so
So
right.
total different. Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of as a match referee, you get a screen where the entire cricket is shown, or
No, see, as a match referee, our job is a very specific job. We are the stakeholder of, means we are the in charge of the whole venue and the match. So I have to look for the how the umpiring has been done, how the players are conducting on the field, how the state cricket association is giving the facilities, are they doing any justification from what the funding they get it from the BCCI? Are the facilities been provided to the players or not, to the match officials or not?
hmm,
All reporting we have to, like we are the eyes and ears of the BCCI as a match referee here,
right,
wherever we go there. And BCCI is doing all these things because they are spending millions and millions of rupees for the grassroots level, and they wanted to improve every day, every match they wanted to improve the cricket facilities at the grassroots level. That's why it is been there. There are third umpires also there. The TV cameras are there. We have 8 9 cameras right now, and all the screen when where we sit in our office, it's all been seen there. So I can see each and every moment of the players going on the field. So that
right,
way, yeah, that way, and everything has been recorded. And we have a committee also, umpiring committee also, who can see that if any mistakes has been done by the match referee or umpire, it has been reviewed again and again. So facilities have been improving every time,
right.
and now the DRS also has taken place. So very soon the DRS will be introduced into the domestic cricket also.
All right. So, in terms of if we have to talk about now various eras, you have seen the 70s to 80s, 80s to 90s. Now, what were the key eras in cricket if you have to divide the different times?
See, key era from 60s to 70s to say 1998 99. It was a very basic cricket because there was no money involved. The BCCI became a very popular organization after the 1983 World Cup when Kapil Dev has won the World Cup in England. And from that time, the sponsors started coming in. Then after that, in 1987, the Reliance has started the Reliance Cup, the World Cup here, when Dhirubhai Ambani has sponsored it. So that was the first time where BCCI and other countries also got actual money in their bank account, because Reliance has put up lots of effort and money to make that tournament popular, Reliance Cup, and it was played in India and Pakistan, and the prize money was given, huge prize money was given. Australia won the World Cup that time here in India. Calcutta was the venue, and that way, first big chunk of money came in BCCI in 1987,
Okay.
and that after that they have not looked back.
Right. So was Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia there, or before it
Yeah,
was before that?
I can say that the money which came into the cricket, which was brought by Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia, Mr. Bindra, even Mr. Niranjan Shah also, because his efforts also, we cannot say that he has not done anything in Saurashtra, because Mr. Niranjan Shah has seen the time of when the BCCI has got hardly 10, 15, 20,000 rupees in their bank account. In that time also, and today thousands of crores are there in BCCI. He has seen that both the eras. So his effort also was there. But Mr. Dalmia was the key person who has made and brought this professionalism into the cricket in that time.
Okay, so Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia was president for how much period?
I think 7, 8 years he was there, and plus he was in and out of the
Yes.
association, so he was there. And then more money started coming in when Mr. Sarath Pawar became the president of India, BCCI, and Shashank Manohar. He became the chairman of ICC also, and Mr. N. Srinivasan. He had made this
India Cement.
India Cement honor. Yeah, these are the key person who has changed the scene of the Indian cricket.
Now, what is the role of the Cricket World Cup winner? So they won the World Cup, and then after a very long period of time, we were not able to get the World Cup. What were the key reasons why that didn't happen?
The other teams also, like Australia, England, West Indies, they were the good teams in those days. But after 1983, the world started believing in Indian cricket. That cricketers from India also are equally good, like Australians and the English cricketers also. And the structure of domestic cricket was not that much strong in after 1983 till the 2011. 28 years has passed. In that time, the structure of domestic cricket was not made that much strong, so that the players from the small areas were not being seen those days. Mostly from Mumbai, Chennai, or Delhi were the playing in the Indian cricket team. And then suddenly the era changed after this Muhammad Azharuddin and all. Saurav Ganguly came, foreign coaches started coming in. So the thinking of Indian cricketers has changed after that.
So, if I may understand the cricketing history, so one was a very early time where the Saurashtra families and the Raja Rajwadas of India, they used to promote. So we talk about Nawab Patodi. So there was an era before
Yeah.
Nawab Patodi. Then there was an era when Nawab Patodi was the Indian captain, and then we talk about the era during Kapil Dev had taken charge. So was it really difficult for Kapil Dev? We have heard stories, we have seen in the movie where it was difficult for him to manage the team and get them united initially.
Yes, of course, because whatever I have seen and I have heard also from the different players, is it was very difficult for the Indian team captain in those earlier times to. First thing was the language barrier, because see, Gujarat cricketers were never been looked so with a lot of potential that time. We had a good cricketers, we had a very talented cricketers, but those time Bombay was dominating so much that if a Bombay player scores 100 and the Gujarat player scores 100, so all the selectors used to talk about the Mumbai players only, because the culture of cricket in Mumbai was different. Whereas Delhi also the same thing. Delhi culture cricket was different. Then later on, when Rahul Dravid, Javagal Srinath, they all came, then the South bowlers, batsmen used to, in the news of cricket. But after the Sourav Ganguly came, Sourav Ganguly has changed, and he started believing in cricketers from a small places. He started believing in Zahir Khan. He started believing that Zahir Khan can bring the wonders to the Indian cricket. He started believing in Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and he gave him a chance. In one of the interview, if you listen to Saurav, what he says, that from position of number 7 batsman, in one of the match he said, no, MS, you go one down at my place. So he degraded himself and promoted Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and Dhoni scored 170 odd in that match. So he has the change has come from the Saurav Ganguly only.
So we can say that Saurav Ganguly was a more aggressive and a more
Oh
experimental
yes,
cricketing
oh yes,
captain.
yes, of
Now,
course.
now we'll talk about further. Before going to that, I'll still again go a little past. What was the era of Nawab Patodi? Because he was a very
See,
stylish cricketer and known and flamboyant.
what I've heard and what I've read about Nawab of Patodi, he has learned his cricket and he has trained himself in English conditions. He was living in England, and since he was a Nawab of Bhopal, so he was living. Plus, his father was also a English team captain and player also. So his way of playing cricket was totally different because he was playing cricket for the pride of India and pride of himself only. But he was not an experimental captain all the time. He always used to listen to what his good players used to tell him. So he was always believing in spinners trio which he had, Bishan Singh Bedi, Chandrasekhar and Prasanna. He never had a good fast bowler in those days. Abid Ali was there, and Eknath Solkar used to just get a ball to make the ball little old, and then the spinner used to come. So all his cricket was been played in that style only. After Nawab of Patodi, Ajit Wadekar became the captain of India in 1970s. So he has invented players like Sunil Gavaskar, Dilip Pangsarkar, Gundappa Vishwanath. They all came, and he was a very shrewd captain. Ajit Wadekar was a very shrewd captain. And first time when he won in England, and if you see those old photographs on the Google and all, the Mumbai was like welcoming the Indian team from airport to the church gate like that. The full road was blocked both sides. So one change is brought by after the Nawab of Patodi, the change in Indian cricket was brought by Ajit Wadekar, and then later on bit of Sunil Gavaskar also, and then Kapil Dev, of course, 1983 World Cup. In 83 World Cup, the Indian team became united
Hmm.
because in those days I was also playing cricket, so we used to know okay, what kind of thinking of different regions cricketer is there. South Indian cricketer had always a language barrier problem, so Mumbai cricketer also was never believing in others that Mumbai in the West Zone if Mumbai is playing, then Mumbai are the king. Like they never used to consider any Gujarati players or Maharashtrian or no, only Mumbai only. While Delhi cricketers used to feel that we are very good and very tough guys. But Kapil has brought all the India united in the cricket team, in the dressing room. And he himself was a very hard-working cricketer and a very hard trainer. He used to play his cricket very hard way. So he wanted his other 10 players also to play like him only all the time. So he always used to say, like, even if they were playing in against West Indies in West Indies or in playing against Australia in Australia, he always used to say, why we cannot win? Let's play hard and we can win, we can win, we can win. And that way, because of Kapil Dev's only single one person's confidence, India has won few test matches in Australia in West Indies and in England also. So that is a total change as believing yourself, believing in Indian cricket was brought by the Kapil Dev only. I was a part of the bowling institute, the net bowlers institute in 1986 with Kapil Dev, because I was playing in England those days in the Indian Gymkhana, and the Indian team was touring England that time. They were playing five test matches and few one days. So we were playing first match at Indian Gymkhana as a practice match only, and I was bowling against India that time. I was playing for Indian Gymkhana and bowling against India to the Srikant and Gavaskar and those kind of players. And England team has called back left arm fast bowler John Lever that time. If you remember the John Lever, he was known as a Vaseline bowler. Like he used to rub some Vaseline on the one side and then bowl, so the ball used to swing all the time. So John Lever was brought just for to trouble India, and Kapil Dev immediately said to Rachi Dungarpur was the manager that time. He said, "I want one left arm bowler for the nets." So Rachi Dungarpur said, "Let's call him." They show me and said, "Ki," and I was been recommended by Anshuman Gaikwad to Ravi Sastry also, because Ravi Sastry was a vice captain that time. And we played just before the Indian team went to the England. We played Ranji Trophy game in Porbandar against Mumbai. So he used to know me by name and face. So Ravi said, "Yeah, yeah, call him." And then I was been invited in the nets at Lord's Test match to bowl all the Indian batsmen as a left arm bowler. So then I was invited by them as a left arm bowler in the nets in the Lords, and we won that Test match. Kapil Dev bowled superbly in that. Chetan Sharma took 5 wickets, and it was a debut for Kiran More also that time. And we won the Test match. We were there at the balcony and celebrating, because India has won the first Test match at the Lords, and that is in 1986. Earlier they won at the Oval, but not at Lords. Lords we always used to either draw or we lost. But after that, I think Saurav Ganguly has won the one Test match at Lords after Kapil Dev 1986.
Right.
When I think Rahul Dravid or he scored 100 or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a very memorable thing. And at that time, what I saw in Kapil Dev, in Gavaskar, Mohinder Amarnath, Sandeep Patil, Dilip Vengsarkar, that Kapil used to bring everyone together in such a way that we are playing for India, we are playing for India like that. And that's how the cricketers started believing in themselves. That if we play as a group, as a Indian team or as India, then of course we can beat any team in the world at any stage. And same thing happened in Australia also, in Melbourne. Even though Kapil Dev was injured that time, and he bowled a superb spell, and he took 5 wickets in the second inning, and Australia was bundled out for 83 or 85 in second inning on Melbourne, at the Melbourne pitch. So contribution of Kapil Dev to make India one as a cricket team is fabulous, you can say.
Right. So Kapil Dev brought in that team building spirit
Yeah.
unknowingly, but he did that.
Yeah.
He himself was struggling with English at that point of time.
Yes.
We've seen that
Yeah.
in a lot of movies, and Kapil Dev was now later down the line he is known as a very stylish veteran
Yeah.
and very respected, and even for whatever generation he is, he's an inspiring figure.
Yeah.
Now we are talking about an time when India won the World Cup. Then there were a lot of reforms started happening.
Hmm.
So if I have to say, Mohammad Azharuddin was the, uh, I would, we can talk about Mohammad Azharuddin's tenure, and he was known for the various World Cups. They played very closely.
Mm.
Probably Mohammad Azharuddin could not win the World Cup. I think that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he could not win the World Cup, but he was a very promising name and one of the most stylish captain, if I would have to say.
Yeah.
Stylish people in cricket, probably Ravi Shastri was very
Yeah.
stylish, and even still, Ravi Shastri sir is
Yeah.
like a style icon,
Icon. Yeah.
and he's fit and still running in the commentary box. Now, every presentation ceremony becomes very exciting when Ravi Shastri is there
Yeah.
as at the presentation podium. So we would say that what was the feeling among cricketers during Azharuddin's tenure?
See, Azhar, when he was become a captain of Indian team. That time, the Indian team was a mixture of young and you can say adult veterans cricketers. So he managed those youngsters very well, Azharuddin. Of course, controversy also started in that era only about the match fixing and all.
Right.
But that is a history now, and now it is not possible that one person can come into the dressing room and talk to the players and whatever happened in Sharjah in those days, whatever happened in South Africa those days is a history now. So Azhar's involvement and as a cricketer and as a captain was also very noteworthy, and he has found good cricketers like Ajay Jadeja, Navjot Singh Sidhu, Javagal Srinath. All this have come up in Azharuddin time only.
Right. And about the time we are talking about, when did Anil Kumble started playing?
Anil Kumble also, yes, he was introduced during the Azhar time only.
Okay.
But he excelled with Sachin Tendulkar as a captain and then Saurav Ganguly as a captain.
Right.
Because
So
Saurav,
so he was on the build up then,
yeah,
and he was very means he would have his space as
yeah,
a spinner, and so probably after Mohammad Azharuddin, because we had been covered with controversy, so that
controversy,
era is not talked about much
yeah,
because it was covered with controversy.
controversy.
Even then, I would remember there were fast players like Ajay Jadeja who
Hmm.
would come at the end and then score
Score,
very
yes.
quickly and a lot of time at
Yeah.
that situation.
Ajay Jadeja was a extremely talented player, I can say, because I have seen him as a under 19 player also, and he played with me in England also for some time, and I known him with the family also. Our family is very known to each other. So that way, he was an extremely talented player. If he would have never been not come into this controversy, dragged into the controversy, then he would have been the captain of Indian team, sure, and successful captain, I would say, because his cricketing brain is extremely different, and he was known in those days in the Azharuddin time. He was known as a true cricket brain and true cricket blood and brain both, you can say, because he hails from the royal family of Jamnagar, Jamranji and all. Uh, so and he trained himself in Delhi under the Kapil Dev's captainship. So he was very talented, but unfortunately he was dragged into this controversy and he couldn't play more for India after that. And
That's the scenario and the pity of the situation.
yeah,
Never lot of allegations were never proved,
mm,
but eventually the time and the career has
gone
gone,
is gone. Yeah,
and the time is lost as well.
yeah.
Now, after that, we are talking about Saurav Ganguly's tenure. How was his tenure as a captain?
Oh, Saurav Ganguly has contributed as a player also in Indian cricket that era. Then he built a team, you can say. Uh, the youngsters were given chance. The cricket thinking and cricket playing is changed tit for tat. India has learned when Australian used to sledge the Indian players. Saurav Ganguly sledged them back. English cricketers also did something, and then Saurav Ganguly gave him back. So the Indian cricket real growth has started when Saurav Ganguly became the captain of the Indian cricket team. And the real of Yuvraj Singh, Harbhajan Singh, VVS Laxman, Rahul Dravid, Anil Kumble, Zahir Khan, it all started in Saurav Ganguly's time only. And Indian cricket should not forget his contribution to the Indian cricket after Kapil Dev. Kapil Dev,
Okay.
I will say first, and then Saurav Ganguly, and then third is Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Right.
These are the three names,
Important
yes,
key names who really shaped it
shaped
up,
it, yes.
and also we should not forget administration's contribution. So we are talking about right from Sir Ajit Wadekar, and then all the people down the line who worked in terms of administration. And I think Jagmohan Dalmia was also an official
Yeah,
at during. He was also key to support Saurav Ganguly in a very
yeah, yeah.
strong way. As a president, he believed in his vision, and people talk about a lot of things, but in the end, that things worked.
Okay, yeah.
So that worked for the Indian cricket, and it is unlucky that we couldn't win the World Cup in that tenure,
Yes.
because that was a tenure where we were very close.
But I will also mention here, because that tenure Indian cricket was improving day by day, and the Australian cricket was becoming stronger day by day. Because that era was for Australian cricket also was very very important.
Mhm.
And the West Indies cricket downfall also started in that area only. If you see that earlier 70s 80s, the domination was of the West Indian fast bowlers. Then when India started improving the cricketers and cricket team and administration everything, that time Australian cricket became very strong because they brought the fitness thing. South Africans also were that time very good, but that team was getting choked up in the big match only all the time. If you see the World Cup final also, at the last moment South Africa has been choked like, and Australia has won that. So Australian cricket that time, Mark Taylor, Matthew Hayden, Ricky Ponting, Healy, and all that. That time it was an extremely good team. Australia was there, so India could not succeeded in winning the World Cup that time.
And probably South Africa also started getting weak because of the controversy. So
Controversy,
that was
yes.
another team which was going weak, and we got another phase. His domination was Sri Lanka were
Yeah,
emerging at that point of
Sri
time.
Lankan also.
Yeah,
They had a good bunch of cricketers. Jay Surya time, Dilip Mandis, Arvinda De Silva. That was a good bunch of cricketers.
right. So now we are talking about another very important era. We are talking about the time of IPL, which has not just brought in money, which has brought BCCI on 10 times or 50 times bigger stage.
Yeah.
And that also happened to be a very interesting time, was the growth of digital media and also the growth of television media. So there was lot of improvements, and cricketers, now you will find cricketers having millions of followers. So अभी हम बात करेंगे कि now what I would want to talk about specifically is that how did IPL came in.
See, IPL is a brainchild of one person only, as long as I know, that is of Mr. Lalit Modi.
Of course.
That time, this mobile phone culture started very fast. Hutch and Idea and Tata Docomo and other things, Airtel. That time, we used to see the SMSs, score SMS and all that from these telephone companies. So Lalit Modi has asked one time to the BCCI AGM that how much revenue we are getting it from this the messages which been passed by this Airtel company and all that, and they are charging the subscriber 1 rupee or something per message, but how much they are giving it to the BCCI. So everybody said no, nothing is coming to us. That is all free. He said no, it shouldn't be like this. He said 60% is ours and 40% is them. So 60% should, for each SMS passed by the telephone company, the 60% should come to the BCCI. And that's how this idea of IPL started. That I can bring the money to the BCCI and to the players in crores and crores, but I should have some free hand to organize the tournament. So that's how the Indian Premier League started. Before that, the ZTVS started the ICL, Indian Cricketers League. So ICL was not been
Successful.
successful because BCCI has said no to their players that no one will play the ICL without our permission.
So probably the players from outside came, or players who were retired from the cricket
And that
were
time
there.
Kapil Dev was involved with the ICL with Mr. Subhash Chandra. He was been roped in by the Subhash Chandra to the icon player of the ICL and lot of other cricketers also. But then the BCCI has put a ban on all the players that why you have played the ICL on without the permission of BCCI. And to keep that their say that that we have banned these players, they have started this IPL, that Indian Premier League, not Indian Cricket League, but Indian Premier League. And Lalit Modi has made the format. He made the format of the 8 teams format, and then all the celebrities has he has listed the players, franchises, and then the players also, that who should be the icon player and who. So that first IPL when they played, it was nobody has thought that this tournament will go to this level in 2024-25.
Right. So probably if Lalit Modi had brought in money, why was he blamed in a very different way, that he has taken away the money? What was
No, no,
the
it is not like that, because see, in the second or third season of IPL, when India was waiting for the election, Lok Sabha elections, and when government said that we cannot give the security to all the venues, so they decided to shift the IPL calendar to South Africa, and that was a period of hardly 25-30 days only. And Mr. Sharad Pawar was the president of BCCI at that time, and he gave the permission to Mr. Modi, Lalit Modi, that you take the IPL to South Africa. So he went to South Africa. He had talked with the president himself and said that we are bringing such a big tournament here, and your country will be benefited by the tourism and all that. Plus our calendar will be also there. It will be safeguarded, and then international cricket calendar also will be not disturbed. So South African government gave them the permission. The real question was that betting in cricket is legal in South Africa, but betting in cricket in India is not allowed, because that was a crime that time. Betting in cricket is legal in Australia and England also. There are you can bet on the cricket match anywhere in betting shops. So that allegation started that the South African season of IPL was fixed again after that big fixing scandal and all. And that time, to book the hotels, to book the ground, to book all the event management companies and all, the BCCI has to take their money from here to South Africa. Legally was a big procedure in India. You have to take the permission from the Reserve Bank. You have to take the permission from the government that we are taking this much money into the dollars to the South Africa and all. So Lalit Modi said, I will manage everything to the BCCI that you give me the permission. So the top top people of the BCCI has given him the permission that okay, you manage it. It's your baby. And he has transferred those money to South Africa to organize these things. And later on, when the time changed, so that allegation came on Mr. Modi that you have taken this much money from here to there without any permission. So you have to now face the music.
So we'll clarify this. This is not Narendra Modi. This is
No, no, no.
Lalit
Lalit
Modi.
Modi,
So
yeah.
Mr. Modi is quite a time because he's also. We
No,
talked about elections, so we'll clarify this. So this is when we are talking right now.
Mr.
It is
Narendra Modi has nothing to do with Lalit Modi and this thing. It is totally fake allegations and make-up allegations. Because in those days, Mr. Modi was not involved in any cricket or anything like that. And Lalit Modi and Narendra Modi is two different personalities.
right. So this is which year you're talking about? Just to put in the date and the context.
I think 2019-20 or something. Yeah,
2019-20.
19. Yeah.
Yeah, this was the time where
Time.
they had gone there, and what was happened was that the reserves were not taken from here, so the money was kept outside,
Ah.
and the payments used to happen from.
See, IPL is not an Indian company. IPL is registered in Dubai.
When was this registered?
That was 2010 when the IPL started. Because of the lot of involvement of foreign players in it, lot of involvement of foreign umpires, lot of involvement of foreign match referees, and foreign equipments and cameramen and everything, TV rights. So the BCCI has to pay them in dollars, all of them. So that's why BCCI has taken the permission from the government to register one of their subsidiary company IPL in Dubai as to say that that we will earn in dollars only and we will pay in dollars also.
Right.
So at today's time, IPL is not an Indian company. IPL is registered in Dubai. All the money earned by the BCCI or anybody is kept in the account of IPL only in Dubai, and from there only the players and everybody get paid officially.
So everyone is getting paid from there.
From there
Only
only.
the payment to the cricketer is coming to the Indian reserves, I think.
Indian player gets in Indian rupees, foreign players gets in foreign money. Foreign umpires gets in foreign currency only. Because of that only, that's why that Indian foreign fund reserve is safeguard here.
So that was done for convenience,
Convenience,
and
yes.
not losing the foreign reserve.
Reserve also.
So there was nothing to do with
No. No controversy or nothing like that.
right.
And day by day, IPL become a very rich tournament. So the sponsorship which started coming in from the media rights, from the sponsorship right, from the T-shirts logo and other thing, it's in billions and millions. Like even if you see that just a few days back I was reading in one of the paper, Economic Times, that Chennai Super Kings brand value has become 2200 crores now. Just
2200
crores.
crores.
That is the brand value of that only. And Mumbai Indians and Kolkata Knight Riders are much more than that.
Agreed that it is bringing so much of money, which we cannot even imagine that we can see it physically in today's time.
Yeah.
Everything is digital, but do you think that IPL is overdoing cricket?
Yeah, because see, the technique which has been playing techniques, I will say that the game technique has been changed due to the T20 version of the format of the game. The reverse sweep, pallu shots and different kind of shots which Surya Kumar Yadav plays and other team players, which are not in the normal cricket coaching books and all that. So that is one thing which been damaged by the T20 version of the game because of IPL. And other thing is this color clothing, white ball cricket, too much of sixes, shots, playing, that has killed the multi-day games version of the cricket. Like test match cricket, you need a technique to stay on the wicket for 5 days and win the match. Like if you take it today's example only, the Indian team has lost in India because of the spinners only, and that spinners from New Zealand, where in one time New Zealand player never used to know how to play the spin ball, and today the New Zealand spinners are winning the matches in India for the New Zealand. Of course, both the spinners are Indian origin spinner only, but still they are the New Zealanders. So this the loss of technique, actual cricket playing technique, is because of IPL only. So one part is a negative part of this. Other part is the positive part. You can see is that lot of money has come. The lifestyle of cricketers has changed. If you see the old time cricketers, they are still living on the pension which has been given to the by the BCCI onto them. They are living on that only. Whereas if you see the today's players' net worth is almost in few thousand crores net worth. They are all the players are now
Right.
holding.
Now, what are the reforms BCCI has done? Because when I was growing up, there were a lot of stories about some cricketers struggling. It was coming in the news that they don't have the means to live. All those stories used to have. Now those stories have vanished or reduced to the great extent.
No, no, it is not reduced. See, the cricketers who are retired before 1995, they are still struggling because they didn't had this kind of money. If you take my example, I retired in 1991-92, but I am getting a pension of 30,000 rupees a month from the BCCI because I played it. I was retired before 1992. So, like me, there are more than 7-8,000 cricketers, first class cricketers, who have not seen T20 cricket, who have not played T20 cricket, even though we were very good in those days of this format. But this format was not there. Only the one day format was there, and that was also not in first class cricket, one day format. One day format was only in up to the district level only that time,
Okay.
and no money was involved. Our time, Ranji Trophy player used to get 100 rupees a day and 3 day match, so 300 rupees for the match, and that's it, and to and fro from the normal ST bus or local bus only. That was transportation, and living in second class hotel. That was the maximum thing. Which today the Ranji Trophy player is getting 3,70,000 rupees plus daily allowance and other things, plus the air travel, living in a four-star hotel. So, and the number of matches also increase. We used to play only 4 matches a year, first class games, whereas today they play minimum 9 games. So 20 lakhs is just white money coming from the BCCI to the each and every first class cricketer. So that full scenario has changed.
So, but is BCCI looking at reforms or maybe helping those cricketers who are in
Yes,
need?
yeah. See, the BCCI is doing as much as they can. We are getting medical allowances also now, one-time benefit also. We are getting jobs in BCCI teams and BCCI other things, coaching jobs, mentor jobs. So that way they are trying to safeguard their players, past and present players both, as much as they can. There is no doubt about it that money which is coming into the cricket are not being spent. Money which is coming into the cricket are 70-80% money is being spent only. That is 100% sure. Grassroots level facilities is improved. Grassroots levels cricket is been improved. Coaching staff is improved. The with each team there are 4 to 5 support staff is there now, and they all are being paid handsomely.
Right, right. So now gradually things are
Yeah,
improving.
yeah, it's improving.
Now, as a mentor, you talked that BCCI is getting it. What kind of cricketers you have mentored till now, or you have guided? I would not say that complete
See,
mentoring.
in my early years as a coach and selector, I'll start it with Ravindra Jadeja. He was a 14 years old young player from Jamnagar, and he came in one of the selection of the state level team to Porbandar. A very young boy, small boy, you know, and from a very struggling family. His mother was working in a hospital, and father was not working also. So I saw his talent as a first class. I was one of the selector for the state panel. So we were sitting, and then suddenly I saw that this boy left arm batting and left arm bowling. I asked his name. He said Ravindra Jadeja. So of course, being a Jadeja, I have little sympathy for the Jadeja boys also. So then I asked his name and father name and other things. And then I called back to one of my friend in Jamnagar, who is also an ex-cricketer, and he had a sports shop. I said, "Who is this boy, Ravindra?" He said, "Yeah, he's a very talented boy and has a very bright future, but unfortunately, he's not been afforded. He cannot afford to have a good cricket kit and all." So I said, okay, when he comes back, just sponsor him one cricket kit bag and uniform and all that, and tell him that it is from one of the ex-cricketer only. So he called Ravindra and presented him that one kit bag and some uniform and all. But Ravindra didn't accept it. He said, no, 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 I have to talk to my mother and then take it, because he was very young. And then I got a call from his mother also. And then I explained her mother that, see, we also played the cricket like that only. When we played cricket, Karsan Ghavri used to give me the gifts, some shoes, they were giving the shoes or socks or shirts. Kapil Dev also gave me the gift. Sandeep Patil also gave me the gloves and other things. So this is a tradition in cricket, that if a young player is good enough to play for the cricket, we sponsor something. So this is what my gesture is. It's not a gesture to look you little needy person or
Right.
something like that, but it's a gesture of promoting our players. And surprisingly, he accepted it, and then he played, and then he never looked back after that. But from that day till he played for India, we could not see each other after that. Even though I was a selector, I used to select the team, but he used to straight away go with the team only, and we could not meet it. Then I met it after 3-4 years, one time in Rajkot, suddenly in one coffee shop. And he immediately came and said, Kesaru, that gift was very helpful to me, and I still remember it. And that is a honor, big honor for me, in front of so many people. He told me like that. And then his love and my love also very similar of horses. He also have got good 5 Marwadi horses, and I am also in horses breeding and all. So one day he called me and said, "Sir, I wanted to buy some horses. Can you help me out?" And that way we are always
In touch.
in touch also with the
Right.
horses.
Now, maybe moving towards the end of the episode, probably I think even you have a great interest in horses, and as we had planned the questions for horses and cricket both. So, this is for the people. If you like this episode, then do tune in and watch the horse subject episode, and where Sir has an extreme knowledge about it, and he has worked extensively in conserving the Kathiawadi horse and we'll talk about it in the next episode. So do watch the other episode, other part of the conversation. Now, sir, coming to this, there were some crucial matches like India Pakistan or arch rivals, where what would be the normal locker room conversation when.
See, it is, the whole India and whole Pakistan feels that, when India-Pakistan match is there, it is like a war room discussion in both the teams and all that. No, it is not like that. I have played with many Pakistani players in Oman. When I was playing in Scotland, the professional cricket, a lot of Pakistani players used to play with me. They are still a good friend of mine. Most of them are settled in Australia and England or now. But we never, as a cricketer, we never thought that they are from the neighboring country where our political relations are not good and all that. They also today also all the Pakistani cricketers consider Indian players as a friend and as a neighboring country only. Like they never, as a cricketer, they don't think that Indian players are our enemies or something like that. No, it is just a political thing which both countries are not agreeing with each other, the border or whatever is there, political thinking. But as a player, we never thought. But yes, the rivalry is very tough because we, as an Indian, and they as a Pakistani, think that they are the superior player than us, and we think that we are a superior player than Pakistanis. So that is there. It is an you know talking about the cricket abilities. We are very tough with each other.
Right.
Like if you see that Wasim Akram is bowling and our Zahir Khan is bowling in those days. So Zahir used to think that I am better than Wasim Akram, and Wasim Akram thinks that I am better than him. Like so, that was the main thing. No doubt, as the cricketing ability and the record speaks better of Wasim Akram than Zahir Khan, but both are equally good. Zahir played in a different era.
He
Wasim
played in.
Wasim is played under the different era and different cricket. So dressing room atmosphere is always cool, but to do better performance in this particular match was always a priority for both the teams.
So they were given more importance than anything else, I
Yeah,
think.
and now the same thing with Australians also. And
Okay.
when India plays Australia, it is again a big rivalry thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you share with us? You have played cricket in county.
Uh,
So were Indian cricketers not looked up in the county, or they were
No, no,
treated?
no. In earlier time also, Indian cricketers were very much in demand by the English clubs and counties also. Kapil Dev played for Northamptonshire. Sunil Gavaskar played for Somerset. Dilip Vengsakar played couple of season for other counties. And clubs cricket, most of the first class cricketers played in England that time, either in Lancashire League or either in Birmingham League or in Scottish League. So at a time you can say 200 cricketers were playing in the clubs cricket that time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So Indian cricketers have always been valued overseas countries everywhere.
Right. Right. So now you've seen a lot of differences and lot of time. So thank you very much for joining, and we'll continue with our horses
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.